Okay, so this is the case. This is Black Death, the history in Europe in 14th century, the kind of pandemic that hits Europe badly in the 14th century. The consequence was almost 30% to 50% of total population of Europe died. For example, population of England, which was 3.75 million, actually falls from for 3.75 million during the Black Death, but it comes back to 3.75 million to 3.75 million to it falls from 3.75 million to 2.5 million during Black Death, but it comes back to 3.75 million again by 1500 common year. Same thing, the population of Italy falls from 7 million, 10 million to 7 million during Black Death, but it comes back to 10 million back again by 1500 common year. And interestingly, the living standard during this Black Death period, actually, it basically increased. The real wage, living standard measured in terms of real wage, actually has increased more than double, both in England and Italy. But by 1500, wages in Europe comes back to its pre-death level. So this is what this data shows. Okay. Now, Sachi, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is basically a history, the data history. It is basically a Malthusian period. It basically says that when the Black Death hits Europe, its population falls down temporarily. There are temporary rise in living standard, but as the time progresses, population comes back to its original level, and the living standard comes back to its original level. How do you explain this particular feature of the data by the mathematical modeling?
So, by the study that we did yesterday,
Hmm.
it shows that as the population increases,
Hmm.
um, population increases. By the first study that we did, which shows that if even if that there is a population increase, there is stagnant increase, and there is stagnant. 1 minute, sorry.
So
There
so
is
it's about.
stagnant living. There is stagnant in living standard.
Hmm. But the living standard has increased over here, and then it falls
Yes,
down.
that is after when we see the technological input.
No, not at all. If I go over here, let's say in this particular model over here, there is no technology change, nothing. Can I explain this particular feature with it? What it basically how do you show is basically an exogenous factor that decrease my LT. This is exactly what happens. What this particular incident says that pandemic hits Europe and it reduces the population LT, the population of Europe, and then the dynamics start. So there is exogenous decline in population over here due to the pandemic. Now you tell me what happens. So
If
exogenous
population has decreased,
reduction
it,
in, मैं तुम्हें hint देता हूँ, everybody, exogenous decreased in LT
yes, sir.
due to Black Death. This is exactly what it says initially. Now what is the impact?
It it affects YT, small YT.
How?
By the formula that is on the screen, yt equal to b. So if LT is, sorry,
Falling.
if LT is decreasing,
Hmm.
then yt will increase.
Okay.
But if yt increases, then according to the second formula written, the
This implies YIT is rising, per capita availability of resources, which is land over here in our model, rises,
yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
What is the impact? As a
Because
result,
of which the living standard
rises, it is rising temporarily or permanently?
temporarily.
Temporarily. As a result, small yt, right?
Yes, sir.
Small yt
Increases
rises temporarily or permanently.
temporarily.
Okay, then
But when we come to the second formula, which
hmm,
is the rate of growth of population,
hmm,
now if YT is increasing, it means that rate of growth of population is increasing.
it increases this.
Yes, sir.
Good. Then
Then coming back to the first formula.
it causes LT to rise, rise.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then
Then coming back to the first formula again, if that leads LT to rise, then again YT will decrease. So a temporary decrease again, matlab that will consequently like
as a
cut.
result, per capita availability of resource starts falling, right?
Yes, sir.
As a result, small yt starts falling, right?
Yes, sir.
When LT comes back to its pre Black Death level, small yt falls to its pre Black Death level. So, what it implies, living standard is stagnant, population rising. Uh, Ultimately, what it implies in the Malthusian era, that what basically says, this is basically the thing, there is a temporary reduction in population L dot over L rises, but over the time L dot over L comes back to L star is pre-backdate level. When L falls down temporarily, there's a temporary rise is in the living standard, but when L comes back to its pre-death level, again Y star, the living standard, comes back to its pre-death level. So the data, this model that we have initially discussed over here, it's beautifully explained this particular feature of the data in the pre-Malthusian era, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dashrath, Meena, Dashrath, Dashrath. Dashrath. Sneha,
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Is this model and this Malthusian era clear?
So can you repeat? Your voice was breaking.
Is this Malthusian era model clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, ये वाला जो part, when I introduce a technological progress over here, my per capita income is, this is basically the dynamics of my per capita income. My data shows that there is no growth in the per capita income in the Malthusian era. So I said y dot by y equals to 0. Then my L dot over L is basically 1 over beta B dot over B, and I have actually defined this 1 over beta B dot over B is basically G. Okay, so it basically says that when my L dot over L is higher than my G, Y dot over Y falls down, and vice versa. And when this L dot over L is exactly equals to G, my per capita income is basically this from the second equation. So if I simply give a graphical exposition to this, it looks like this. Mm, mm. So this is it. So this is basically my G, let's say. When my rate of growth of population is less than G, so I'm measuring my per capita income in the x-axis. I'm measuring the rate of growth of population in the y-axis. And this is my long run rate of growth of population, which is 1 over beta B dot over B. That is G over here. When L dot over L is less than G, you see it basically says my income is rising. And when L dot over L is lower than G, it's falling. And ultimately this Malthusian era, this y star, which is g divided by theta plus c bar, this is a stagnant. This is the absolutely stable steady state. So when my rate of growth of population is lower than g, per capita income rises temporarily, and when rate of growth of population is higher than g, per capita income falls down, and ultimately it's the absolutely stable steady state. So this is exactly what happened. People say in the Malthusian era that population has increased as there is a rise in the population level, there is a growth in the population level in the long run, but ultimately there is no long run growth in the living standard because it's an absolutely stable steady state. So that's it. So this is basically the thing over here. Okay, fine. Anybody has any question?
In the previous equation, where we found out the growth rate, we equated the growth rate of income and made it 0. We did that because
Because the data shows
we
that there is no increase, there is
there is some growth rate
there
in
is no
L.
growth in per capita income. There is a growth in L. Yeah.
So that's why we made the new equation, so that because the previous
Yeah.
one
Because the equation over
was
here,
showing the growth
yeah,
rate.
it basically says there is no growth in L dot over L is 0 initially. This model L dot over L is 0. But L dot over L is not actually 0 in the Malthusian era. Both the level and growth of population is positive. So that is
So sir,
why
we must have calculated the like average of like in that period of time we calculate the average growth rate,
your question
not
is not
like
clear at all.
instant. Like we want, I want to see in the graph, this graph of growth rate of L and L.
Which
So
graph?
we, yes sir, which is it is there in this screen right now.
Okay. Over here, there is absolutely no growth rate. I have not introduced any growth rate yet.
So sir,
In this particular
the
model, I have not
L dot by L is
is
0
0 in the long run. Yeah.
in this steady state.
Yeah. But that is not matching with the data. Data says there is a L dot over L is also positive in the long run. And that is why we have introduced this second feature of this model. I've introduced a technological change and I have allowed L dot over L to grow at the rate this. Because as I said, there are three features in the data. First of all, living standard is stagnant. That means y dot by y has to be equals to 0. Second is there is an increase in the population level. And third is L dot over L is positive. So if you want to describe the data of the Malthusian period, then you have to develop a model that matches these three features. Y dot over Y is 0, L dot over L positive, and there is a long run level of increase in the population level. This is basically happening over here. In this particular, I have introduced a technology growth over here, and B dot over B is basically positive. I have defined G is this. So let me just put it in over here. This is what I have assumed. Okay. And then
Yes,
since
sir,
the
yes,
data
sir.
says that there is no long run growth in the output level, I set it to 0. When this is 0, obviously the L dot over L is obviously 1 over beta B dot over B, which is equals to G. So now
Yes.
you have a population growth rate positive. Population growth rate positive means population is rising in the long run, but there is absolutely no growth in the output level. The living standard is stagnant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, got it.
And this is a graphical exposition that why the living standard remains stagnant, because mathematically is basically a stable steady state. in this particular model. When your population growth rate is lower than G, your per capita income rises. When the population growth rate is higher than G, your per capita income actually falls down. And this is the steady state which is absolutely stable. And that is why people says that Malthusian era able to maintain this particular stuff, this particular feature of the data. So this is basically ultimately our model, that if I go to our model, what I will do is basically three things ultimately in the final model. First of all, this production function with two क्यों लिखा हूं, one है. This production function, ये तब तो था, ये यहाँ पे भी है. It remains here over here. No problem. The only thing that I have introduced that this. This is the assumption. And this is from the data. In the long run, we have a static living standard y dot by y equals to 0, which implies positive growth rate of population in this model. L dot by L is G, and the output stagnant. This is the graphical exposition of that. Fine. ठीक है ओभिदीप?
Yes, sir.
ओके और एक फीचर्स ऐड करेंगे इसके साथ. And which is endogenous technological progress, जो हम लोग रोमर मॉडल में ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं. B dot over B equals to, I'm following the notation over here, nu, which is a positive constant. उसके बाद ऊपर रहेगा nu L सेम इक्वेशन जो हम लोग पहले ऑलरेडी ले चुके हैं. इसको थोड़ा सा चेंज करना पड़ेगा. LAT to the power lambda and PT to the power phi minus 1. If you can remember, this is basically the same thing we have taken into account. Okay, so this is the endogenous technological progress that we have already taken in the Romer model and the Jones model. But over here, it is basically Kramer 1993. This suppose this okay. So what this Kramer 1993 said, he said lambda equals to 1, endogenous technological progress, and also phi equals to 1. If it is so, then this particular equation becomes b dot over bt equals to the same nu then LAT right? If I divide both sides, and this can be written as, let's say again, nu again, I'm assuming a constant fraction of people working in research and environment. SR into LT if I divide both sides by beta, one over beta, and over here it will be nu over beta. Another important assumption Kramer made, that the people working in research and innovation, the same amount of people is working in production. So SR equals to 1. So if I set SR equals to 1, this particular equation becomes and we have already seen this left hand side is basically our G, which is the long run growth of technology, G, which is also our rate of growth of population, which is LT dot over LT, and which is equals to this. So when I introduce a technological progress which is endogenous in nature, that's the new feature they are adding from where this technology growth is coming. So up to this, I can actually explain there is a positive growth in population in the long run and the stagnant living standard. But ये वाला figure अगर मैं देखूं, this is also a new feature in the Malthusian era. This. And if I show over here, this is a new feature जो Malthusian era में देखा गया था. Especially, this is the population from 1 million before common year to the recent times. And you see over here, when the population rises, the population growth also rises. So rate of growth of population over here, it is not only positive, it is proportional to the level of population. जो when I introduce a endogenous population growth, जहां से मुझे मिल सकता है, it basically says the rate of growth of population is proportional to LT, which is matching with the data. Especially from 1970, 1980, from this period, that population growth rising and the with the level of population, that actually breaks down from 1970 onwards. But before 1970, this particular features prevails. As the population rises, the population growth also rises. Okay, so what is happening over here, as the population rises, the technology over here, that the population rises, technology rises, the rate of growth of technology rises, and the rate of growth of technology increases by rate of growth of population, and that is also matching. This is the data, and that is basically matching over here. So this is basically the entire model in the Malthusian era. This production function, I am highlighting it, important feature. This production function, this is my rate of growth of population, production function, and this part. In the long run, the technology is growing at the rate G, and this part. If we take all these features together, we can actually explain what happened in the Malthusian era. There is a population growth positive, stagnant living standard, and the rate of growth of population is proportional to the level of population. Everything can be matched. So everything can be matched over here. So this is Malthusian era to us. Okay, so all this thing, the population is rising in the long run. Rate of growth of population is rising in the long run, and उसके बाद मैं add करता हूँ, and it is proportional to the level of population. Living standard stagnant in the long run. Now you see, you take this final model, this highlighted part, this highlighted part, rate of growth of technology is G in the long run. That is the endogenous technological progress. And Kramer said lambda equals to 1, phi equals to 1, SR equals to 1. And I got it. Now you can say that in our case, in the previous case, in the Romer model, we said that lambda equals to 1, phi equals to 1 is not matching with the data, and that's not matching with the data in the modern era. But in the prehistoric era, in the Malthusian era, this is basically what people say is that this is what happened. And this is the mathematical model that actually captures the features of all the Malthusian era. Stagnant living standard, rate of growth of population is positive, rate of growth of population is proportional to the level of population, and in the long run, population is rising. and we can actually explain everything. Any question? यथार्थ हाँ बोलो कौन
Huh. Sir, we took SR equal to 1. Does that mean we are employing all our labor force in research and development?
and also the same amount of labor they're actually devoted not only in innovation but also in the production.
So LA and LY are equal.
Yeah, ly equals to la equals to l.
So didn't we define SR is LA over LA plus LY?
No, we have defined, yeah, SR equals to LA divided by LA plus LY, that means LA over L. And we have now assumed that LA equals to L, equals to LY. समझ में आ रहा है?
Nice.
All the labor force, they are actually in the production process, they are also in the innovation process. तुम production में भी हो, तुम innovation में भी हो.
अच्छा 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 अच्छा.
Any question?
So you said we are considering the labor both in production and in research. So won't that affect that mean the overall production? As
No,
both
it won't. It basically L everywhere. The same labor, जो तुम, you are a labor. You are you are giving your time in the production. You are giving your time in the research and innovation also. And they say that okay, the equal amount of time they have given. This is the assumption that Kramer had made. Now, if I relax this assumption, what happened? So suppose I relax this assumption and suppose that the SR is there. It does not matter. Even if SR not equals to 1, the proportionality only changes. Getting my point? ये जो प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन है यहाँ पे तुम्हें एल वाई लाना पड़ेगा. You keep ly, does not matter. And यहाँ पे तुम la रखो. Nothing will change actually. Even if you set your SR not equals to 1 is a fraction, the only thing that you have to bring a change over here, you have to bring a change ly over here. That means ly amount of labor is working in the production. LA amount of labor is basically the technological innovation. And you assume a constant fraction of the labor force is working in research and development. SR is a fraction. The only thing that will change is basically in your analysis, the proportionality, the constant of proportion changes from nu by beta to nu by beta multiplied by SR. But ultimately, what our objective is to show that the rate of growth of population is proportional to LT. That remain unchanged. समझ में आ रहा है? That will
Yes.
simply complicate the model a little bit without changing the main result of the model. Right?
Yes, sir.
Just like if we do that, what happened?
सर अगर
हाँ बोलो.
हमने इस मॉडल में उन दोनों का सम टोटल लेबर लिया था, तो सर फिर दोनों मॉडल को अगर हम कंपेयर करें ऐसा कुछ करना चाहें तो उनकी डेफिनेशन ही चेंज हो गई है.
डेफिनेशन कुछ नहीं चेंज हुआ है.
क्योंकि सर यहाँ पे आप दोनों को एल ले रहे हो तो फिर 2L हो जाएगा टोटल सम. तो
SR equals to 1. This is exactly what I measured. LA is exactly equals to L and वही L यहाँ पे भी है. So ultimately L is over here and L is over here also. So instead of writing LA, you write L over here. Does not matter. And if you want to keep that LY and LA different, you do it. Does not matter. Only तुम्हें यहाँ पे change करना पड़ेगा. अगर तुम यहाँ पे LY रखो, तुम्हें क्या करना पड़ेगा? One thing you can change that this is if you want to have a per capita GDP and this is equal to LT, then you have to have a okay, मैं तुम्हें दिखा रहा हूँ. If you have a LY over here, how does it change? Nothing is going to change. The only thing, if you say that SR is a fraction, if I want to keep SR as a fraction, the way we have did it before, okay, fine, you do it. This is your production function. Instead of writing LT over here, you write LY over here. Fine, no problem. This is your LY. Fine, no problem. Now, if you want to have a per capita stuff over here, what you have to do? YT by LT equals to into LYT by LT. If I divide both sides by LT, fine, okay, fine, equals to B, then this becomes X by L to the power beta. So in the bracket, to the power beta, and over here it will be LYT by LT to the power 1 minus beta. Actually, LYT by LT to the power 1 minus beta. LYT Okay, so this is basically your SY, let's say. Now that basically gives you, if I assume there's a constant fraction of people working in both in research and development and over there, so this LY over LT, this is basically people working in the production process. This is 1 minus SR to the power 1 minus beta. So this is small YT equals to, this remain unchanged, and this basically becomes in the bracket 1 minus SR to the power 1 minus beta. Fine. Now, since this is a constant, SR is a constant and B is a constant, instead of writing this, I can define another B. Let's say it is B tilde. My per capita output YT equals to something B tilde. There is tilde here. Yeah. fine. And then my rate of growth of population, जो equation मैं यहाँ पे लिया हूँ, that remain unchanged. Nothing is going to change over here. Now, since SR whole to the power 1 minus beta is a constant, I can still assume this part. Absolutely no problem, because that part is a constant. So rate of growth of B tilde is nothing but the rate of growth of B only. It remain unchanged. And over here, if I go for a technological progress, so endogenous technological progress, I can still keep over here. The only thing that I'll assume that SR is not equals to 1, SR is SR. So I do not need to assume this. I will not assume this. And as a result, I will not assume this. Instead of that, I will simply define, let's say, nu by beta multiplied by SR is something, let's say, nu tilde divided by beta. I have no problem with it. So insert, instead of this, I will actually assume, let's say, this is nu tilde. And this is again will be nu tilde. But nu tilde is basically nu multiplied by SR, which is a constant. Nothing is going to change. That's your model. So this is a constant. Instead of writing B, I am writing B tilde, which is B tilde equals to B multiplied by this constant. When I'm calculating the rate of growth of B, it is only B, rate of growth of B tilde is basically nothing but the rate of growth of B. So actually, एक मैं extra line यहाँ पे लिखता हूँ. ये वाला जो है, so instead of writing this, let me write it B tilde. Can I do it? I do not know. Can I do it? Let me first write B tilde. B tilde और उसमें मैं डॉट देना चाहता हूँ. Can I do it? Oh. देखो यही प्रॉब्लम है. मैं बी टिल्डा डॉट कैसे लिखूं? हाउ डू आई राइट डाउन? ओके फाइन, इसको ऐसे रखते हैं. इंस्टेड ऑफ राइटिंग दिस इक्वेशन, लेट मी डिफाइन हाउ डू आई राइट बी टिल्डा डॉट. Can anybody guide me how to write B tilde dot? Can't hear you.
Define it as some simple variable.
हाँ, क्या वेरिएबल मैं लिखूं?
The easiest option would be to define some normal variable.
A लिख सकते हैं. Fine, I can write A here. There is no A in the model, so write it down A. Right? And this actually so everything is basically multiplied by T. over here. This is multiplied by, this is a function of t basically. Function of t, it becomes at, right? And this is equals to at, and there's a dot here, minus this term, which is equals to this, right? Because 1 minus SR whole to the power 1 minus beta is a constant. So AT is basically BT multiplied by this, then A dot over A is basically B dot over B plus 0. So is A dot over A is nothing but B dot over B. So nothing is going to change. And then rest of the thing remain unchanged over here also. Now it's clear? कौन क्वेश्चन किया था? कंपैरिजन का क्वेश्चन कौन किया था?
सर मैंने.
हाँ, so is it
Yes,
clear
sir,
now?
it's okay now. Yes, sir, it's possible now.
It's possible. Fine. As I said, only this proportionality, the constant of proportionality will change if you introduce SR not equals to 1. Then nothing is going to change. Fine. So that could be a new extension जो book में नहीं है, and that is matching with this Romer and the Jones style, that production depends on land, technology, and the labor force LY, and the per capita one is defined like this. Rate of growth of population is this, and the technology is endogenous like this, and then I get this result. So all the features are now in the Malthusian era is I can explain that stagnant living standard, rate of growth of population is positive in the long run and which is proportional to the level of population, and the population is rising in the long run obviously as a consequence. Fine. So all the features of the Malthusian era can be explained in this fashion. Any question? The interesting would be if we can introduce some amount of capital and capital accumulation in this model. That means it is not only land X, but there is a capital also KT. So it could be, let's say, xt to the power beta 1, kt to the power beta 2, and lt whole to the power 1 minus beta 1 plus beta 2. And again, the same features as the solo model, a fraction of income S is basically saved, and that is getting investment. So you get a fundamental equation k dot over k equals to S f of k minus n plus delta multiplied by kt. And then you have this another differential equation in terms of LT. Actually, these two differential equations, they will interact with each other. Phase diagram can be drawn, and both the differential equation has to be solved simultaneously. And then obviously, I'm not going to teach that in this particular class because very frankly speaking, more than 70% of the people won't be able to digest that. Okay, so the new another one differential equation, if you introduce capital over here and if you introduce the feature of the solo model over here, that means capital is getting accumulated from savings and your fraction of income is saved. You get another equation small k dot t divided by kt equals to small s small yt, which is small f of kt. This is small yt, ये वाला जो टर्म है यहाँ पे kt वाला टर्म आ जाएगा, and minus n plus delta multiplied by kt. That will be one differential equation. Another differential equation will be this, and they will actually interact with each other. वहां से तुम्हें क्या मिलेगा? A small kt and small lt. So there will be a 2x2 phase diagram that has to be drawn, but not required actually. If I really want to simply explain the key features of this Malthusian period, I can explain this with this simple model. Actually, the ultimately the model मैं एकदम simple model से चालू किया था. Now we keep on adding features to the model, checking the data. Ultimately, the final model, and if I really go to the beyond the book, ultimately the final model will look like this. This equation, this equation, this is basically coming from the production function only. This equation, I'm assuming G, rate of growth of technology, is growing at the rate G, and I assume I set this equals to 0 from the data, L dot by L equals to G, and then I introduce this endogenous technological progress just to explain that rate of growth of population is basically proportional to population. That will be the entire model, and that can actually explain this entire key features of this Malthusian era. Fine. Any question? The next class we will then we can actually pick it up, this next part, that Malthusian era के बाद the new era that actually begins, from where actually this Romer model they wanted to capture, जो हम लोग पहले पढ़ चुके हैं. This basically from industrial revolution onwards, there is a sustained growth in the living standard also. So population has grown and the living standard has also grown. दोनों ही एक साथ grow किया था, जो Malthusian period में नहीं है. Population has grown in the Malthusian period but stagnant living standard. उसके बाद जो period आया is a period of sustained growth. Is the population has grown and there is a sustained growth in the in per capita income at the rate of technology in the long run. वो वाला इसके साथ we can add this feature जो हम लोग next class में जाएंगे, and we can actually go for a we can actually explain that how this human civilization, this data of civilization has actually emerged. Fine. यथार्थ क्लास में हो?
Yes, sir, I'm in the class.
ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा. What are the factors that determine the short run rate of growth of capital stock in the Solow model, Yatharth? Determinants of short run rate of growth of per capita capital stock in the Solow model. Long run का determinant क्या है? What is the long run determinant of per capita capital stock in the Solow model? क्या है? एकदम चुप हो गया.
सर अब आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ, अभी
Hello?
आवाज आ रही है. हाँ,
हाँ.
now I can hear.
Sir, N delta G
And
और S.
वेरी गुड. ये शॉर्ट रन का है ना? और लॉन्ग रन का क्या होगा?
सर उसका G होता है.
Very good. याद रखना. A lot of people make this mistake. So when you read a question, be very careful what I'm asking. Whether I'm asking for a short run growth rate or I'm asking for a determinants of long run growth rate. Be very careful. लक्ष्य?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
कोर्स तो ऑलमोस्ट खत्म होने को आया है. I do not know whether you guys have enjoyed or not.
So we have enjoyed it.
तुषार मोहता, ये नाम तो मैं पहली बार देख रहा हूँ. तुषार मोहता, are you here? Tushar? And the other Tushar, Tushar Khokar,
Yes, sir, I'm here.
you're here. So,
Yes, sir, it was a very good course.
very good course. पहले भी तुम बोलो कि what is the rate of growth, what are the determinants of rate of growth of technology in the Jones model? Jones जो model मैं किया हूँ, Romer and Jones together. Romer and Jones, the only difference is basically this value of lambda and phi, nothing else. So in the Jones model, what are the determinants of long run rate of growth of technology, G? तुषार, मैं तुम्हें पूछ रहा हूँ.
Sir, L.
फिर से बोलो.
Sir,
In the
N.
Jones, हाँ, N, N के साथ
And L.
लैम्डा और phi भी तो है. It is lambda multiplied by n divided by 1 minus phi. That is G in the Jones model. In the Romer model, what is said? Lambda equals to 1 and phi equals to 1, right?
Yes, sir.
वहां पे n आता है.
Yes, yes, right.
अच्छा, एक चीज बोलो तुषार. In this, that model, that Romer model or Jones model, whatever you say, we have seen that the rate of growth of population, total population rate of growth is n, exogenously given, and we have shown that in the along the balanced growth path in the long run, we have mathematically proven that if total population L is rising at the rate n, then obviously the rate of growth of population working in the production process, which is Ly, and the rate of growth of population working in research and development, which is La, they are both rising at the rate n. We have proven that mathematically. But suppose the rate of growth of population working in the research and development, if it is 0, can I have a sustained growth rate? That means LA dot divided by LA equals to 0. Grow नहीं कर रहा है. Then what is the rate of growth of technology? G equals to same model, same equation. The only assumption I am making that the population that is working in the research and development, it is not growing at all. The rate of growth is 0. Then what is the rate of growth of technology? G in the long run. तुषार,
Yes, sir, I'm thinking about that.
ये इतना सोचने का क्या है?
Sir, I guess 0.
Because n is 0, G is 0. इतना सोचने का है क्या? That means ये जो मॉडल है रोमन मॉडल और जोन्स मॉडल, यहाँ पे अगर पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ वाला फीचर मैं इंट्रोड्यूस ना करूं देन पूरा मॉडल कोलैप्स कर जाएगा। जस्ट लाइक इन द सोलो मॉडल, जब तक मैं टेक्नोलॉजिकल प्रोग्रेस इंट्रोड्यूस ना किया, आई कैनॉट हैव अ सस्टेन ग्रोथ इन पर कैपिटा इनकम इन द लॉन्ग रन। Per capita income in the long run in the steady state becomes absolutely constant in the solo model when there is no technological progress. I introduce technological progress, then I get, okay, per capita growth, per capita income growth in the long run is basically is growing at the rate G, the rate of technology. So वहाँ पे the important feature is technological growth. When I start working with this endogenous technological progress in the Roman in the Jones model, the key feature is you have to introduce positive population growth. Otherwise, technological growth नहीं आएगा, and technological growth is ultimately determine what our GDP growth in the long run, per capita GDP growth वो भी नहीं आएगा। समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So जब when you read these models, basically it takes time to read because you have to think of that what difference we are actually making in each and every step. What are the key differences? Okay, so this solo model में key difference है that simple solo model and the augmented solo model में key difference जो है is that I am introducing technological progress. क्यों मुझे why we need to introduce technological progress in the solo model? Otherwise वो जो Caldor fact है that my per capita GDP is actually growing at a sustained rate, वो नहीं मिल रहा था in the long run. It was become constant. I introduce technological progress and I get the rate of growth of per capita GDP long run is equals to G, which is basically by rate of growth of technology. Now the key features in the Romer and the Jones model is basically N. If my N is 0, my rate of growth of technology is 0. And again, I get the same result that my per capita GDP is constant in the long run, it is not growing, just like in a simple solo model. So I have to introduce a positive population growth. I have to keep a positive population growth in the Romer and the Jones model. नहीं तो पूरा मॉडल कोलैप्स कर जाएगा। ठीक है साची?
Yes, sir.
So these are ये सब समझ के पढ़ना पड़ेगा। Obviously you want to develop a model that matches the data, but also you see important thing, जब मैं जोन्स और रोमर मॉडल लेके काम कर रहा था, we have to introduce मोनोपोलिस्टिकली कॉम्पिटिटिव मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर। परफेक्ट कंपटीशन से होगा नहीं। क्यों नहीं होगा? अगर परफेक्ट कंपटीशन हो गया तो लेबर लेके चला जाएगा जो प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस में काम कर रहा है उसका शेयर, प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस में जो कैपिटल है उसका शेयर लेके चला जाएगा। एंड अगर परफेक्ट कंपटीशन वो दोनों ही तो पूरा एग्जॉस्ट कर देगा। प्रॉफिट मुझे नहीं मिल रहा है तो एक्स्ट्रा प्रॉफिट मुझे चाहिए रिसर्च और डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर को फिनांस करने के लिए। सो इफ आई वर्क ओनली विद दिस perfectly competitive market structure, my model, my mathematical model will not be consistent actually. मुझे extra revenue चाहिए in terms of profit so that production process में जो काम कर रहा है लोग उसको मैं wage दूंगा, production process में जो capital है उसको मैं उसका payment दूंगा, उसके बाद भी कुछ मेरे हाथ में रहेगा, that we will use to finance research and development. So I need a market structure which is not perfectly competitive. And that is why you introduce this increasing return to scale production function and monopolistically competitive market structure. Then my model becomes mathematically consistent. So data को तो match करना ही पड़ेगा, but the model that you develop should be mathematically and internally consistent. वो भी तुम्हें दिमाग में रखना पड़ेगा। ठीक है? So this is basically, उसके बाद I think the next class we will discuss some more issues of this population and growth, and then 9th का जो class होगा, in the class of 9th we will discuss some questions and answer, and then you have your exam on 15th, right? Your exam is scheduled on 15th, right?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है then होप यू हैव एंजॉयड दिस लेक्चर। और भी एक लेक्चर मैं दूंगा, उसके बाद क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन आएगा। एंड आई एम एंडिंग टुडेस क्लास ओवर हियर। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor.
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू। थैंक यू। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू।